Welcome to Local Matters, featuring the resources and good news happening around us. Today, we begin with the celebration of 12 years of work and the memories created throughout high school graduation. Inventive solutions to commencement ceremonies while social distancing are admirable, but still can't address the feelings graduating seniors have about the world as it is now and their places in it. Erica Christensen is our Education Access Supervisor and happens to have a graduating senior in her own family, her sister Amelia. Erica invited Amelia via Zoom to offer her perspective.
I'm going to be talking to my sister Amelia Christensen today, who is actually a graduating senior from Plymouth North High School. I will be asking her a couple of questions about what it's been like as a senior during the COVID pandemic. So, Amelia, it is so nice to have you here, and I am super excited to ask you these questions.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Of course. So, can you give me a general feeling of what it's been like as a senior during the COVID pandemic?
It's been very hard for me, along with my friends, because our senior year was cut short. And senior year is known as the time to celebrate your last year of high school with your friends and just show your appreciation for the teachers all those years that you've spent with them and just say your final goodbyes. But since our year was cut short, our senior year, our final year, we were not able to have a formal goodbye and walk through the hallways of Plymouth North High School, where I grew up in 2016, and not able to finish it off the right way like everybody else.
Yeah, that must have been really hard, especially knowing how many friends and how many relationships you build, not only with the students, but with the teachers as well. And on the lines of the teachers, what has it been like adapting to this new remote learning process? How has that been?
It's definitely been very hard adapting from in-person to online so abruptly. I'm more so a visual learner. I need a teacher to talk to me rather than me teaching myself in order to learn the material and concepts properly. But I was able to create a routine for myself. We received all of our work every Monday, and we had to finish it by the following Friday by 5 p.m. So I was able to create a routine by making a set class to each day and making sure that I was on time with my work, and just each day I would have a set time of when I would want to do the work and then when I would want to finish it.
Now, did you have that one-on-one connection with the teachers if you needed to? Did you have any sort of line to them? How did that work?
So on Google Classroom, my teachers would post a schedule when they would be on Google Meets. So they would give us a set time, saying, for example, 9:30 a.m. They would be on the Google Meet for about 2 hours. Okay. And they said that they'd always be active and able to answer questions through email. And sometimes my math teacher, she would have Zoom calls or Google Meets, whatever works easier for people, if we have questions about the material, because we had our AP exam this year. So she wanted to be very active with us in order for us to be prepared for our test that we were supposed to take in class.
Okay. So they definitely still had that structure for you.
Yes.
Okay, so that's good. So you said that you had coped by creating a schedule for yourself. Have you created any other new habits or hobbies during this time because you have that extra ability and time, not with the same class structure? Has there been anything creative or emotional that's come out of you since this whole thing has happened?
I've definitely been able to teach myself a lot easier than I was able to before. So I would use Khan Academy. I was able to find a lot of resources to help me. So I found hobbies such as teaching myself a lot more things than I could before. So math, I enjoyed using Khan Academy to help me teach myself. Or with English, we would have to read books, and researching became a hobby of mine because I had to teach myself a lot about a book I was reading, and I didn't have my teacher by me. So researching and watching movies to help me through it all helped a lot.
So you've been kind of making yourself your own support system in a way.
Yeah.
Who else has been part of your support system going through this?
Definitely my friends and my mom, because she's helped me with a lot of how to cope with it, definitely mentally too. So with resources such as teachers and my allied health teacher, because I have her phone number, so she's always there if we need help with anything. And my friends, I can always just FaceTime them if I need help. with schoolwork or just somebody to talk to.
So you did mention staying connected with your friends. How have you been doing that, especially knowing that you guys are all going to be going to different colleges at the end of the summer? What's it been like knowing that this is your last summer and you're going to have socially distanced events and experiences?
Definitely been very hard because knowing that my best friend's going to Florida, so not being able to see her before she goes off to college is very hard, but we were able to get through it by just FaceTiming for the first 2 months of our quarantine and socially distancing by seeing each other just in a car, even and meeting up. And as soon as we got through that, we're just slowly easing our way back into the norms when we can see each other before college, because it's definitely going to be hard if I can't see her when she leaves. So.
Yeah, I can only imagine what you're going through. And you've been and I know your best friend. You've been with her for so many years and have done so many things together. So I can only imagine what the two of you are going through emotionally and being so disconnected on a physical level. I mean, we have all the technology that we have, but there's nothing that beats that face-to-face interaction that you would have with somebody. So with that being said, what has it been like not having these traditional events like prom or graduation or even the senior hypnotist show? What has been going through your mind as far as like all of those things?
I was definitely very heartbroken because having siblings that went through it all and always talking about it and excited for me to get through my senior year. So I've always been so excited to have like senior night and senior showcase or hypnotist night, because I have had so many friends that are older than me too, and my siblings always talking about it and excited for me to have my graduation. But not having a normal graduation and ending it off right for my formal goodbye is definitely very hard. But I've been able to get through it by having my friends and family by me and not having that communication in person. But I think the teachers are definitely trying to get us together the right way with this graduation that they're doing, the drive-by, to make us feel appreciated more.
Yeah, it's definitely relieving to hear that they are doing something and not waiting until the end of the summer where a lot of students wouldn't be able to participate. So it's really a struggle for a lot of students. So I commend you for being so strong with all of this and taking it with a grain of salt every single day moving forward. I can only imagine. I mean, I graduated high school years ago, so what you guys are going through right now is just completely uncomprehendable for me. So again, I 100% commend you for this. And because you're a graduating senior and you're going to college at the end of the summer, what are your plans for college? How is that going to work out for you?
So I'm going into the nursing field, and I'm still going to go into the nursing field. If anything, this has made me want to be a nurse even more, because seeing all the nurses that are fighting for their lives and for other people's lives to help everyone has definitely pushed me and motivated me to get my work done in order to become the nurse that I want to be. So it has helped me with my college plans a lot, I think, this whole situation.
Now, I know you were working with a nursing home that was actually in front of Plymouth North, and you made so many relationships with the actual tenants that live there. How has it been not being able to connect with them?
It's definitely been very hard because they've become like basically a close friend. Like, I know that they're a lot older than me, but they're very wise and they've always been there for me, and it's somebody that I can talk to. So not seeing them for months has definitely been very hard, and hearing that we've been having residents passing away and me not being able to be there with them has made it even harder for me.
Yeah.
So just not being by their side through this has made it very difficult.
Yeah, and knowing you for all of my life, you have to be a very special person to give that time and energy to the older generations, because it's not an easy job. It's something that it takes a lot of strength, not only physically and emotionally, but spiritually as well. You have to be there for them all the time. So again, huge commendment to you for what you're doing and what you have done. And the fact that you still want to do it moving forward is huge. So with going to college for nursing, what college are you going to?
UMass Boston.
UMass Boston. Now, have you decided what you're going to do as far as like living there? Are they allowing people to be on campus, or is it just remote learning for now?
At the moment, orientation is online. That's all I know of, but they haven't really given us a lot of information about it. I have a feeling it'll be online for a few weeks, and then they'll try really hard to get us on campus. But we're supposed to be finding out middle of June at least if we're going back to college.
Okay. Well, hopefully you'll be able to have that college experience, if anything, since your senior year was taken away. Yes. Because I know you were looking to live on campus and being there and immersing yourself, because you can't really do a nursing program while working from home. The hours are just, they don't mix together, and I can only imagine. But with this whole experience, how are you going to look back on it, and what are you going to take from it?
I think that I will look back at this experience as something that's taught me how to cope with my wellness and my health, along with my emotional, mental health, and my physical wellness. Because this experience has definitely been a roller coaster for my emotions, with the nursing home and not seeing my friends or getting my normal senior year that everybody else has been able to receive. So I've been able to cope with the experiences by staying positive through it all and just receiving support through my family and my friends every minute of the way.
It definitely helps to have that support system, and everybody's going through some sort of mental turmoil with all of this.
Yeah.
So again, yes, definitely having that support is so, so helpful. And I'm so happy that I could be part of your support system when needed.
Me too.
So Amelia, I am so happy that you came on today and allowed me to interview you about this senior year, COVID pandemic, everything that's been going on. But do you have any sort of final thoughts that you want to just give out to anybody? Anything that you want to say that you didn't get a chance to?
I just want to thank my family and friends for just being there through it all and loving me every minute and just making the senior year normal for me, and my sister making me a pretty day when I woke up for the day of pretty day and just normalizing it for me and just trying to cheer me up on that day. And all I have to say is just stay positive through it all, and then it gets better. And positivity is the only thing that can help you through it all, and love and support. So.
I absolutely agree with that. So again, thank you, Amelia. We really appreciate you coming on, and we wish the best of luck to you. Everyone here at PAC TV does, myself, the whole world who gets to see this, we wish you the best of luck. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Amelia, and thank you, Erica. Amelia, your extended family here at PAC TV wish you success and happiness in your next adventure at UMass Boston. The 19th Amendment to the Constitution granted women in the United States the right to vote only 100 years ago. Boston Athenaeum is offering a virtual event on June 9th titled Anti-Suffrage. Scholar and curator Theo Tyson will examine how Victorian ideas of womanhood and patriarchal standards played a key role in the arguments against women's rights. She'll present 19th century photographs, paintings, rare books, and broadsides containing anti-suffrage propaganda, items from the Athenaeum's special collections. The event is free and open to the public. Visit the website to learn more. Renowned suffragist Zilpha Harlow Spooner is part of Plymouth's own history with the suffrage movement. Who was she? Dr. Ann Mason tells us more about her.
Hello, my name is Ann Mason. I am the Executive Director of the Plymouth Antiquarian Society. I'm here in Oak Grove Cemetery off of Summer Street in Plymouth at the grave of Zilpha Harlow Spooner, one of Plymouth's most prominent suffragists. Zilpha was born in 1818. She was the daughter of Ruth and Ephraim Harlow. Her father encouraged his daughters to participate in many of the reform movements of the 19th century, including abolition and temperance. Zilpha was a member of the Female Anti-Slavery Reading Society and the Massachusetts Anti-Slavery Society. She worked to raise money for the abolition cause and helped to organize anti-slavery events. Like many female abolitionists, Zilpha faced criticism for being so outspoken about slavery. Middle-class women in the 19th century were not supposed to step into the political realm, and they were not supposed to speak so boldly about controversial issues. Many of them in response to this criticism, began to gather together to think about and discuss women's rights. Zilpha attended the first National Women's Rights Convention held in Worcester, Massachusetts in 1850. Also at this meeting was a young man from Plymouth named Nathaniel Bourne Spooner. Zilpha and Nathaniel were married just a few months later in 1851. They shared a passion and a deep commitment for abolishing slavery. In this effort, they were joined not only by Zilpha's family, but also by Nathaniel's. His father, Bourne Spooner, had founded the Plymouth Cordage Company in 1824 and was a leading abolitionist in Massachusetts. The family had close associations with many prominent figures, including William Lloyd Garrison and Frederick Douglass. After the Civil War finally ended slavery in the United States, Zilpha turned her energy back to the women's rights movement. In 1870, she was part of a committee that asked the Republican State Convention to support women's suffrage. In 1873, she attended the first Women's Congress held in New York City and attended by other important figures like Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Lucy Stone, and Sarah Grimke. In 1886, Zilpha's name was on a petition to the Massachusetts Senate to enable women to vote in town and local elections. Zilpha died in 1891. Women in Plymouth were not able to vote until September 7, 1920, when they could vote in the primary election. Although Zilpha did not live to see that momentous occasion, it was her hard work and dedication, like the many other women in the 19th century, that ensured that the constitutional amendment was achieved.
Thank you, Anne. We owe our right to choose our local, state, and federal representatives to so many people who came before us. While in the United States no one is required by law to vote, we all should. Our vote is our voice. Could you use some financial advice during these uncertain times? Register with the Kingston Public Library for financial advisor Michael Rothberg's free seminar on June 15th, offering guidance for what is an uneasy time for so many. Visit the library's website to sign up and get your Zoom link. As things start to move toward reopening, both the Kingston and Pembroke Public Libraries have taken a first step, curbside pickup. Visit the respective libraries' websites to reserve your books or other items, and library staff will contact you when they're ready for pickup. You'll arrive at the library during designated times, call them, let them know you're there, and staff will bring your items outside and place it on the pickup table. You'll use the library drop boxes to return your items. The library does quarantine and clean all library material before items are put back on the shelf or signed out again. Check out the library websites for pickup hours and details. Local poet Miriam O'Neal sent us this tender ode to her mother and the wonders of freshly baked bread.
Hi, my name's Miriam O'Neal, and I live here in Plymouth. And I know that lately, with all this staying at home that we're doing, a lot of us are making a lot of bread. And I wrote this poem to honor my mother, who was an extraordinary bread maker. Bread. There were years when all our family's bread came from a redware bowl the size of a small country. A yeast user, but scant. She'd start her dough the night before, after the late news for a slow rise. Then Sunday, by 7, she had slapped and punched the airy pillow into 6 loaves and 3 pans of biscuits, and set them on the table for their second coming. Whichever daughter had gone to the 8 o'clock, tasked with getting the pans in the oven while our mother sang in choir at the 10 o'clock, and our head usher dad helped the elderly to their pews and passed the collection basket. After church, her picture hat with artificial scarlet cherries off at the front door, she'd check our work and scold, if scolding was needed, and if the after-church guests didn't swallow every one, you might get a pecan sticky bun, or the caramel in the pan, or the smear on the serving plate to rub your plain biscuit in. But my sharpest memories are midnights. A child insomniac, I'd wander down to the smell of raw dough, and to her bent over the bowl set on a chair for better purchase. The wet elastic mass turned and turned, tucked into itself and turned again, up to her wrists in that wet wheat ocean. Lips slack, hazel eyes gone dreamy, as if her struggle proved some ferment of faith, the light over the table pouring a halo.
Are you a history buff with a question about Duxbury? Join town historian Tony Kelso and historian Carolyn Ravenscroft for an interactive virtual event when they will answer all you'd like to know and share stories about the town you haven't heard. Offered by the Duxbury Rural and Historical Society, they encourage you to submit your questions or requests for topics ahead of time via email. This event is free and open to the public. Pat and Mal Fey are siblings, local musicians, and the next thing you're going to watch.
Though I'm lonely, I sweep up the place. I go in early and I come home late. And the one thing I never forget is your face. And you keep me around. And you keep me around. Keep me around. You keep me around. I know I'm sad. I know I'm getting away. You sit and you wonder how long I'm gonna stay. While I show you the rainbow in all shades of gray. And you keep me around. 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 Though I'm faded and I might be blind, but I'm the one who's gonna keep towing the line, and you land on your feet almost every time. And you keep me around. And you keep me around. Yeah, you keep me around. You keep me around. And you keep me around. Sighing lonely, they go and come. You think you don't need 'em, but you gotta have some. And try asking the dark where the light comes from. Low on faith, and you might be blind, but I'm the one that's gonna keep towing the line, and you land on your feet almost every time. And you keep me around. And you keep me around. Yeah, you keep me around. You keep me around.
Thank you, Pat and Mal. We love showcasing the broad spectrum of talent in our community. June is Pride Month, and the Duxbury Senior Center is hosting a Cheers to Rainbow Pride LGBT social happy hour via Zoom. Join these free, fun, and informal get-togethers to socialize and dress up in your best Rainbow Pride gear. Raise a glass for Pride. Connect with old friends and make some new ones. The fun starts at 5:00 p.m. on June 18th. Visit duxburyseniorcenter.org to register. Also, through the Duxbury Senior Center on Thursdays at 2 p.m. through the month of June, pour yourself a drink and test your knowledge of history, pop culture, geography, and more with tea, tequila, and trivia. Join friends and soon-to-be friends via Zoom to have fun and socialize. All are welcome. Visit the Facebook page to register. If you're like many of us, this extra time at home has resulted in some extra padding around our middles. But good food is great comfort, and Max and Dustin are back with craft foodery and a healthy snack idea. Yum. Thank you, Max and Dustin. To celebrate Pride Month, Anomaly Poetry and the Co-Creative Center of New Bedford are hosting their first ever virtual Pride open mic. It's on June 11th from 7 to 9 p.m. via Zoom and will be recorded and published on Anomaly's Facebook page to enjoy afterward. Poets are asked to limit readings to 3 poems of your original works or those of poets you love. Visit the Anomaly Poetry Facebook page to sign up. Executive Director Donna Curtin sent us an update on the Pilgrim Hall Museum and the support it's received from the worldwide community.
I'm Donna Curtin, the Executive Director of the Pilgrim Society and Pilgrim Hall Museum. Our organization is the oldest continuously operating public museum in the United States. Many of you might know our wonderful historic granite columned building that you see as you enter the historic downtown in Plymouth, right here on Court Street. And we have been telling the story of early Plymouth since 1820. Our exhibits explore the histories and the experiences of both the English colonists of early Plymouth and the Wampanoag people who lived here for many thousands of years before the arrival of the Mayflower. And like the rest of the world, our long-standing historical organization has been impacted pretty heavily by the global crisis that we are all living through in this time. Our doors, for the first time in a couple centuries, have been closed for an extended period of time. And we look forward to the time when we can reopen and welcome the public here again. We anticipate making the decision when to open our doors when we feel we can safely welcome the members of the public to our facility and ensure an enriching and healthy experience for all. And those days will be coming. And in the meantime, we've been working hard on continuing to be a resource through our website, www.pilgrimhall.org, and through social media. Now, through this experience, we have been grateful for the wonderful outpouring of support Pilgrim Hall Museum has received from members of the Plymouth community, from the members of our museum, and from people really all around the world who have valued, particularly at this historical moment that we're all living through, have valued the sense that where we have come from helps us understand and cope with what we're living through and where we're going as these months pass and as we move forward past this crisis. The value of history is something we hope all of us can continue to explore, engage, and share. And that is the reason our organization was founded 200 years ago, and it really is our goal and the spirit that keeps us moving forward through these difficult times. We thank all of the members of the Plymouth community, our first responders, our essential workers in every industry, our local friends, the members of our organization, our board, our governors, our leaders in town, state levels that have done so much to keep all of us going at this time. And we'd love to stay connected with you. We have a couple of exciting things going on online right now, including Mayflower Kids Challenge. We need your help in representing some of the children who came in the Mayflower. Take a look at our website, pilgrimhall.org, and please feel free to reach out to us. We are here for our community.
Thank you, Donna, and thank you for joining us. Local Matters is a production of the local scene of PAC TV. Visit our website at pactv.org/local scene for a complete list of resources mentioned in this show. Follow us on Instagram and like us on Facebook to keep updated on the ways our community refuses to magnify our differences, but focuses on our common goals for our common good. From all of us at PAC TV, be safe. We'll see you next week.